MeMonster.
Chapter 121. Nahaha, the Seventh. Boom! Fierce steam erupted from various places. The corridor vibrated, and the wall collapsed, revealing gears and wires inside. Danger! The damage to the ancient statue is severe. I think we've reached a dead end. It seems like there's no way forward anymore. Climb the stairs, then go right. If you go straight to the three-way intersection, you'll find the exit. Get ready to leave once you're there. What are you going to do? You're really pushing your luck, warrior. Zing! Kishasha's voice disappeared. I dashed through the corridor, where red lights and fluorescent tubes flashed together. Oppa, I think something is coming from behind, Jenna called. I turned to her voice. Clank, clank, clank. Something massive was approaching in the dark corridor, shaking the ceiling and walls. XYZ Ultimate Golem, level 46. Car. Don't underestimate my invention. It looked like the door had been broken. The golem extended its hand as it approached. The aiming device on its repeating crossbow began to spin rapidly. Do-do-do-do-doom. With a sharp sound, bolts shot out from its hand. Velkist, who had been following behind, swung his sword. Splintered wood and arrowheads scattered in all directions. I'll handle this. What are you talking about? If we're going to fight, we should all fight together. Venik, free stars, is in a bleeding state. Health decreases at regular intervals. Hun, suddenly a large number of enemies are swarming us, Edis's desperate voice echoed. How many? There are over 100. We're trying to break through and head to the exit. Got it. Hold on a little longer. Don't let Priasis die. I'll do my best. The communication was cut off. Nerissa, who had been looking at me, smiled lightly. Iloka stopped as if waiting. 3 is enough. You two should go ahead. But, don't you trust us? Finally, Jenna nodded and patted her cheek. Okay, brothers and sisters, don't die. This is nothing to worry about. If you think it's no longer possible, run away immediately. I hope I am being clear. I turned and ran again. Jenna followed behind me. A moment later, the sound of intense battle came from behind. Will they be okay? Do you think those guys trained for nothing? Have a little faith. I increased my speed. The corridor was narrow. Moving with more than 3 people would only be a hindrance. To tell the truth, the outcome was unknown. The result might be that those guys lose. If so, 3 death messages would appear before me. We should hurry. We must clear the mission as quickly as possible. And we didn't have much time. Elite Lizardman Warrior, level 32. The door next to the corridor opened with a creak, and a lizardman rushed out. He wore sturdy plate armor and held a dazzlingly shining sword. Ping! An arrow pierced a gap in his armor like a needle. I drew my dagger and thrust it into his helmet, which resounded with a scream of pain. When I withdrew the hilt, he spurted blood and collapsed. I continued running through the corridor. Lizardmen appeared several times, but we dealt with them all as we kept moving forward. Venik, 3 stars, is in a bleeding state. Health decreases at regular intervals. Rosa, 2 stars, has returned to the embrace of the goddess. Her courage will be remembered forever. It's really annoying. No matter how difficult Pick Me Up was said to be, this is beyond hard. Clearing the stage seems like a difficulty the developers didn't want. My account was somewhat similar. I thought of the heroes of Niflheim who had suffered several times, especially Ceres. She must have felt similar to me now. A smile involuntarily appeared on my lips. Oppa, I think we'll be able to clear it definitely. I continued forward, dispatching the lizardmen blocking the way. The blade of Bifrost was stained crimson. After crossing 2 sections and climbing numerous stairs, I finally reached the last room. All sorts of wires were gathered here. A thick iron door was firmly closed, as if denying entry. Krark, foolish humans, you've finally made it here. I heard a voice. Do you know what the woman you are protecting is trying to do? She's defying the order of the universe. What are you talking about? Boom! I forcefully kicked the door. Inside a circular room several meters in size, with large monitors extending in all directions, a small lizard man in robes was staring at me. The lenses of his compound eyes reflected light. Master of Arcane, Kurushak, level 35. Tiak! Human! You've made a mistake! I took out a poisoned dagger from my belt and threw it. The purple blade pierced through his robe and into his abdomen. Then 3 arrows pierced his nose, throat, and heart precisely. Coo! Thunk! He vomited black blood and collapsed. Instant death. I checked the surroundings. There was another door on the right side of the wall. Destroy all these suspicious devices. Leave nothing behind. Yes! I opened the door and entered. The entire room was filled with octagonal crystals. Crack, thud, thud. The sound of impact spread from outside the open door. It seemed like Jenna was smashing the devices with enthusiasm. This is the last one. I looked down at my feet. The black blood that the lizard man had spilled was stuck to my boots. If I had the time, I would have listened to what he was saying, but I gripped the hilt with both hands. When I plunged the sword into the crystal, gold spread like a spiderweb. I twisted it and pulled it out. Crunch! Shattered pieces of the crystal scattered in all directions. Coo-goo-goo-goo-goo-goom. Danger! The ancient statue has reached its limit. It's collapsing. The entire room began to shake. Mission type has changed. Mission type, escape. Objective, exit this area. Special objective, the survival of NPC Priasis Alragna. I went outside. As it shook, Jenna was diligently smashing machine parts with her bow. Jenna! Awopa! This place is about to collapse. We need to get out. What about the others? We'll meet them on the way out. Follow me. Jenna jumped up and joined me. We immediately left the room. The vibrations intensified. Kugugug. Rocks were falling from the ceiling. We just took care of the last crystal. The entrance should be open now. The flames outside should have disappeared. Go out right away. I've confirmed the door. I'll take Priasis with me. What about you? We're fine here. We'll manage. As soon as I cut off the communication, I jumped to the side. Sharp rock fragments fell where I had been standing. I ran after that. Lizard men were scurrying around in various places in the corridor. I ignored them. Where is it? I recalled the map of the bonus stage. I calculated the fastest way to escape after joining the other 3. Left, right, then right again. Quack, quack, quam! Boom! A powerful explosion sounded from a side corridor. I immediately moved. In the smoke, a human figure appeared. Jenna's eyes glimmered as she dove into the smoke. Over here! In the smoke, the 3 of them revealed themselves.
Slower than expected. We've been waiting. Velkist spat out a mouthful of blood. Half of his face was covered in blood. Nerissa and Aloka weren't unscathed either. They had numerous minor wounds visible between their torn clothes. What about that machine? It stopped on its own the moment I was about to finish it. Was it the seniors doing? I only destroyed the crystal. Anyway, this place is about to collapse. Follow me. Understood. I glanced down. Velkist's right leg, which had been deeply cut, had bone exposed. Don't worry about it and keep going. It's not a big deal. I can... Dunk. Velkist collapsed. Nerissa was holding a knife sheath behind him. Don't be stubborn for no reason. Nerissa lifted the unconscious Velkist. I'll carry him. Let's go. I nodded and started running again. Shing! The wall split open and steam gushed out. We went around it. In the next corridor, an explosion occurred. We descended through the collapsed floor. The path had become quite twisted. There were many impassable routes. Without memorizing the map, we might have wandered and been lost. We descended to the lower floor, took the stairs, and opened the emergency exit door. The fierce sandstorm struck our faces. We were outside. Then we exited through the outdoor passage. Boom! I looked up. The statue was twisting and groaning all over its body. Its parts were gradually cracking and collapsing. I looked down. The flames that covered the ground had disappeared. Below, about 10 survivors, including Priasis, were moving away in a line like ants. How are we going to get down? It's too high. Sis, can't you use telekinesis? It's not all powerful to that extent. Wing! A strong wind blew. I looked back and extended my hand. Nerissa, the rope. I received the coiled rope, a specially made, high-strength rope, nearly 100 meters long. I looped it like a noose and held it in my left hand. There was no time. If we didn't maintain our balance right now, we wouldn't have a chance. I pressed my back against the statue's thigh. My body began to descend along the slope. When my body was about to bounce off after passing the thigh, I hooked the noose of the rope onto the protruding part of my knee. I fixed the rope, shaking it left and right while kicking the wall. Slide down! Nell, sis, go first! Nerissa, who had tied Velkis to her back, descended. She safely latched onto the rope. Then Eloka, and finally Jenna. There were no dropouts. I pulled up my leather gloves and descended quickly on the rope. Meanwhile, a group of lizard men fell to the ground from the sky. The ground was getting closer. Crack! The lizard men's bodies left red marks on the sandy ground. Next to it, I landed. After waiting for the 4 of them, I looked up. Boom! Boom! Explosions were happening all over the statue's body. It's still dangerous! Run! Rocks fell from the sky. We ran through the sand. On the side, anything was shaking a fluorescent tube. After about 3 minutes of running, we reached a small sand dune. Next to it, the others who had arrived earlier were taking a break. And then, still, with somewhat pathetic sound, the 300-meter giant collapsed all at once. What remained was a rugged mountain entangled with sand and rocks. Ah! Iloka collapsed on the sand. Stage clear. Han, 3 stars. Jenna, 3 stars. Eloka, 3 stars. Velkist, 3 stars. Nerissa, 3 stars. Level up. Edis, 3 stars. Roderick, 3 stars. Anand, 3 stars. Bennick, 3 stars. Lilinia, 3 stars. Level up. Kishasha, 4 stars. Lakari, 3 stars. Reward: 300,000 gold, 3 low-grade magic parts, 5 C-grade mercury. MVP: Han, 3 stars. Master, congratulations on clearing the 30th floor. If you want to know about the additional content, please click here. It's finally over, somehow. Nerissa gently placed Velkist on the ground and spoke. The light began to envelop the field's end. Dazzling particles ascended into the sky. Good job, Han. I accepted the canteen offered by Edis. While drinking water, I asked, "How's everyone's condition?" "No need to worry, it's all right. A few people died," but Edis's voice trailed off. "We expected casualties, within the expected range." "Ha ha ha! But you're amazing! What have you been up to? It's been a while since I felt so alive." Raymond, who stood leaning on his greatsword, laughed heartily. Lycan laughed along. "You did good too, even though you're old." "Old? I'm still in my prime." The voices of the heroes grew louder. In the midst of all this, there was one person standing awkwardly. "I don't know how many died because of me." Priasis had a dark expression. "If collecting the keys is connected to the... Ah!" Priasis clutched her forehead and stepped back. I struck her forehead sharply. "What are you doing? What are you even questioning now?" I don't know, it's complicated." "Don't think too much of it's complicated. That's better." The light enveloped the whole field. "Maybe you're right." Dunk. When I opened my eyes, a familiar place appeared. 3 mirrors and a circular room. It was the rift of time and space. "I'll see you again. I heard that there are 3 keys. We've only gathered 1. It's going to be a tough journey ahead." I forced a bitter smile and left the rift of time and space. "Loki! Loki! Loki!" A sensation like I'd experienced somewhere before. Isel was flying toward me with a bright expression. "Amazing as always! Truly the King God Emperor!" Don't make so much noise, it's loud in my ears. To the great Loki, a gift from the master. No way. Isel extended an item she was holding in her arms. Gifting warhorse statue. To Han, 3 stars. I accepted the statue. How many times is this now? I have to admit it. I lost. Han, 3 stars, is pleased to receive the warhorse statue. Affection level increased.
Chapter 122. 2 days later, in the evening, a party was underway on the second floor of the waiting room. They had cleared a space in the corner of the square and set up tables and chairs beside the fountain. The tables were filled with dishes prepared by the waiting room chefs, each showcasing their culinary skills. "Ha ha, there's no place like this," Raymond said, sitting on the fountain's edge and gulping down his beer. "When I first came here, I thought it was some kind of hell, but now it's not so bad. It's no different from being a mercenary, don't you think so?" "That's right. Whether it's there or here, people are dying all the same," another replied. The fourth party, sitting on a bench, drank together. On one side of the square, a large keg, specially imported by anything from the gift shop, stood ready. "It's disgusting, TSK. If you don't indulge in feasting while you're alive, when will you? This is a luxury." "True words. It's better than dying," Edis said, raising her glass. Lilinia, standing nearby, shrank back. "A lot of people died." "It's unfortunate, but if we stop, we can't move forward. We survived. While we mourn the dead, we should also be happy for our survival. That's the mercenary life." "Is that so?" The second party was enjoying their meal at the left table of the square. "When will it end? I want to go back to the training camp," Velkest complained, leaning against the wall. Nerissa was beside him. "We prepared so much. Is it not to your taste?" Chloe asked, approaching with plates and an apron tied around her waist. "It's not that it doesn't taste good, it's just—" "He's embarrassed," Nerissa teased. "Do you want to die?" Velkest shot back. The two of them started bickering as usual. I sat in the corner handing out drinks. A post-war party. This was an event I never overlooked in Niflheim. It helped everyone recover from the fatigue of battle and recharge morale. The scale might not be as large as back then, but the effect would be enough. He's doing his part now, too. Beyond the glass ceiling, the sky shone. There were still many shortcomings, but he had improved from before. "By the way, isn't the star of this party you, Hyung? What were you doing before coming here?" "I've been farming." "Ha ha ha! What an amusing joke!" I placed my empty cup on the table. About 30 people participated, not only combatants, but also others from the support team. The third party of beast folk said they would stay in their own area. Laughter erupted from various places. Jenna, mixed in with a group of women, was leading the conversation. I vaguely heard my name mentioned. It was awkward. I knew it was necessary, but it felt like wearing clothes that didn't suit me. Velkest and Nerissa were here too. It seemed like I couldn't escape. Excuse me." A girl who had slipped away from Jenna's group approached me. A girl with a fresh impression bowed to me with hands clasped. Far away, Jenna was laughing. I didn't know what kind of joke it was. "I came here about a month ago." "This is a jackpot event! Kya!" Isel suddenly popped out. The girl half fell and quickly ran away. "Ha ha ha! What's going on? Get a hold of yourself. Call my name only once. More importantly, I have something to say." Isel grabbed my collar urgently. She seemed quite flustered. "What's the matter, Fairy? Are we going into battle again?" "Humph, focus on your alcohol, you addicts. If it weren't for Han, you all would be fooling around. Wah!" I smacked her. Isel floated in the air, spinning half a circle. "Be back in a moment." I grabbed Isel's wings and entered the training camp. Ay, that's a sensitive area. Be a bit gentle. Noisy." I closed the door. The lights in the training camp were off. I unfolded a metal chair and sat down. "So what's the matter? Why all the fuss?" Ho, you'll be surprised if you see," Isel chuckled, waving her index finger from side to side. Then, in midair, she spun around, swirling both hands. "Fairy power." Ding! Along with a lively sound effect, a hologram appeared. It was a familiar inscription. Pick Me Up's official cafe. Isel, with a triumphant expression, pointed to the top of the cafe with a small stick. Hot topics. 1. Walkthrough video of My Hero on the 30th floor. 2. Reflections on the game of luck and nonsense. 3. Can't you manage the server properly? The end of the stick pointed to number 1 among the hot topics. She seemed to be waiting for me to say something. So he uploaded a video. That's right. When Isel poked the topic with the stick, the screen changed. Boasting bulletin board. Walkthrough video of My Hero on the 30th floor. Anything wind. A user who posted a question before. Last time I received a lot of help. Thanks to that, I was able to get answers. I'm uploading a walkthrough video at the request of someone. The hero in the video, named Han, is a 1-star born from the tutorial. A video was attached. When I touched the triangle button, an advertisement played, then the video started. A somewhat unrealistic game graphic of a desert field appeared. A hero with black hair was running through the desert. The hero progressed steadily through the walkthrough, leading his companions. Fighting monsters, struggling on the giant's arm, and inside the statue, he led the mission to success with a splendid performance. It was me. Comment 537. School meals hope. So, this is supposed to be a 1-star? Are you kidding me? If this guy is a 1-star, I'll cut off my chili. Kimochi desu. It seems like he's really a 1-star hero. If you search for this user's past posts, he posted a question before. At that time, this hero was there too. It was 2 stars back then, but looking at the stats, it was like a 3-star. Even if you say otherwise, it's at least a 2-star. Suddenly, the atmosphere got tense. Aang pick me to E. Ha ha ha, you gotta be kidding me. It's much stronger than its level and star rating, but more than that, the sense of the walkthrough is more impressive. It seems an 8. Sometimes there are guys like that, like Loki Ceres, isn't it? Cirrus Jang, I want to lick Cirrus's armpits, lick lick. Indent, this guy appeared here too, block him. Game King God Game, he's crazy, seriously. Why is my hero not like this? Signal, don't believe this liar. 1-star heroes are not like this. Ganadara Mabasa. It's fun. Are there any other videos? I want to see the 25th or 20th floor. I also want to see the current specs. Can you send a private message? Anything writer? No. Lucky why lucky. This game is a good example of why this game is all about luck. If you pick a good hero, it'll clear itself by just shaking a fluorescent tube in the back. Everyone quit this trash game. I'm quitting too. As. Money in hand give me. The person above is a friend of mine and he's good at the game. He says he puts in 100,000 won every month. I scrolled down silently. Most reactions were similar to what I'd seen before. Well, it made sense. When I uploaded the Niflheim walkthrough videos, they had similar content.
They say this game is fun, so I wanted to try it. The video is good, the action is cool, but is it supposed to be this difficult originally? I think the video is exaggerated. It's not usually this difficult. It's enjoyable on the lower floors. The upper floors are hell, though. The difficulty is carcinogenic. It's the 30th floor, and a giant monster appears. The pattern is really complex. Although this hero carried him, I won't be surprised if his whole party gets wiped soon. If I show this video to the idiots in my waiting room, will they get better? Can I know how you raised your hero? Are you following Loki's strategy? I didn't use any special methods. You raised it normally and it turned out like this? Did you use some cheat? Be honest. I did give a little gift of a military horse statue. He really liked it. I never liked it. Hawk! What a video! This hero is totally my type. Please upload more videos, pressing the recommendation button and going. With each refresh, new comments were added. They asked about how he raised the hero. They demanded detailed specs. They requested other videos. It was a repetition of the same pattern. There were quite a few offbeat comments, too. Hail to Loki. Moonlight in my arms. I heard there's a hero who overwhelmingly ranked first among the Niflheim trainees. Isn't it him? Sigine. If he ranked first, Loki would have taken him. But be careful when uploading such videos. Strange messages can be troublesome. Be cautious. Don't accept strange messages. There was no need to see more. I closed the window. Isele was beaming. How's that, Loki? You're a star from now on. After being the master of masters, you're now a star hero too. That's really pleasing, isn't it? The play count on YouTube had already surpassed 50,000. Considering the buzz, reaching 100,000 wouldn't be difficult. I sat back and crossed my legs. There's still some risk. In fact, making a name for oneself in Pick Me Up had many drawbacks, especially if the goal was a simple tower strategy. I chuckled, but there was a reason why I couldn't blame anything. If you want something, pay for it. Mobius supports the master's choice. You have chosen one-time-only monthly package. Package contents. For 30 days, we will give you 150 gems and 10,000 gold every day. 4,500 gems plus 300,000 gold. Amazing special offer. All of this for only 50,000 won. Anything didn't hesitate and made the payment. The gem count at the top increased, maybe from YouTube earnings. Before becoming a ranker, when there was no steady source of gems, I used to do the same thing. Upload a strategy video, earn ad revenue, use it for in-app purchases, and then upload another video. If you didn't have much disposable income, it was a good way to escape the pressure of spending. This was also recorded in the strategy document, so he probably followed the instructions. Or maybe not. Maybe he just wanted to show off. Master, there are 3 unread messages. Messages sent from other masters. Will you check them? No. Anything closed the alert. The account name had already been exposed. Well, if it's just messages, they can be ignored. If there's nothing special in the content, and as long as it doesn't give away coordinates, there's no risk of harm. Isale was keeping an eye on me. Loki, is something bothering you? What? Your expression seems stiff. It's nothing. I enjoyed it. I stood up from the chair. Having a name has its downsides, but it also has quite a few advantages. Things were getting interesting. For now, he's an outstanding rookie. His main hero is quite a standout talent for a 1-star hero. Still, he's nothing more than a level 30 noob. The real rankers in Pick Me Up probably won't pay much attention, unless it's a user with the discerning eyes. I continued my thoughts and burst into laughter. It was amusing that I was evaluating myself. Despite claiming to pursue objectivity, when it comes to self-evaluation, one tends to be biased, don't you? Isale. Yeah? Let me know when the next video goes up. Oh, sure, I'll definitely call you. I laughed and left the training ground. The party was still going on in the square. You're late, Hong. What's the matter? It was nothing, just a trivial story. Hee, tell us. I really want to have a drink with you, Hong. Red-faced, Ryman extended a beer mug already filled with golden liquid. I usually don't drink, but it wouldn't hurt to indulge once in a while. Tomorrow, the tight schedule begins again. I accepted the drink.
Chapter 123. In Pick Me Up, every 10 floors unlocks new content. New areas open in the exploration dungeon. Facility restrictions are lifted, and the hero's level cap increases. Several features are added in this way. Additional content guide. Master, congratulations on clearing floor 30. You are now an esteemed master. Who would dare dismiss you as a novice? Please continue to work hard in the future. A new weekday dungeon has been opened. The 3rd exploration dungeon, Kea, is now open. Additional facilities have been unlocked. Please check the help section. The sector of the lobby Tonia is changing. Current coordinates 188.347.447.935. From grade 8 sectors, ruins will appear. Tips. Ruins provide jewels and various rare items. Jewels can be exchanged for a certain amount of gems. Every 10 floors, the master's area or sector changes. This system balances the game, ensuring low-level and high-level players don't encounter each other in the same area. Of course, new content is also created with each ascent. For example, on the 30th floor, you can send a party to explore ruins by airship to obtain rewards. If you have an airship.
But for now, it's not possible. Creating one is challenging. It requires numerous materials, a high research level, airship technicians, significant funds, and production time, not to mention a 4-star mage to operate it properly. As a newly graduated master, anything tackling airships was still out of reach. In the end, the situation wasn't much different from before opening the dimensional rift. Regrettable. If there were an airship, it could play a significant role in missions and supplying gems from the ruins. Smooth interaction with other masters would also be possible. The gameplay before and after acquiring an airship is completely different, just like in other games. Pick me up. Welcome to the Dimensional Cafe. Afterward, anything entered the Dimensional Cafe from the right side of the screen. Trade Bulletin Board. Caution, this is the place to post about trades or rentals. Posts on other topics may be deleted without notice. Only masters level 20 and above can write and read. Post 9483125. Reliable rental of airship. Yum Yum Gulp, Sigrid, dimensional coordinates 153. Airship rental specialist. You perhaps have no airships? Want to explore? We specialize in renting out large, medium, and small airships. For detailed inquiries, please contact. KakaoTalk ID is... Anything started looking into posts about airship rentals in the Dimensional Cafe. Of course, there were probably no suitable options. The rental fee was excessively high, and in case of damage, all losses had to be compensated. Moreover, without a guarantee, they wouldn't lend it. And without a mage to operate it, the burden became even heavier. In the end, anything closed the window. Master, would you like to end the connection? Yes. Goodbye then. The sky darkened. I stood up. Senior, what are you staring at? I looked back. Velkist was wiping sweat from his forehead with a towel. I thought you'd at least join in after all this time. Velkist tossed the used towel into the basket. There were only 2 of us in the training ground. After clearing the 30th floor, we were taking a short break today. Except for heroes like Velkist, who loved training, the rest didn't show up at the training ground. Airships. It's good if we have one, but it's not a problem if we don't. There was no need to rush. Naturally, as we climbed the tower, we would acquire one. Shall we go? I got up. Resting his hand on the hilt of his sword, Velkist stood in the middle of the training ground, waiting. Master, an unconfirmed channel chat has been detected. Would you like to check it? Yes? No. Tips. What is a channel? Masters located in the same sector can communicate with each other through channels. It seemed he left without checking this. Anything consistently ignored channel chats as well as all messages. I understand, but it's a bit much. I stopped in my tracks. The options demanding a response were flashing blue. Are you trying to annoy me? Shh, don't make a fuss. I sighed and stepped onto the training ground. And that dawn, I summoned Izel to the room. What's going on? Izel came in wearing pajamas and a beanie. In her arms, she held a long pillow with Ragnaraki written on it. I decided to get to the point. Izel, I want temporary master authority. Huh? Authority? I nodded. Just want to check some messages from others. I know it's possible. If not, I wouldn't have been able to create items. Okay, if it's Loki's request. As Izel turned around, her pajamas and hat disappeared. Back in her original attire, Izel looked determined. Hot, fairy power. Flash. The light from Izel's hand seeped into me. Verification complete. It might be challenging to perform essential tasks like synthesis or summoning, but this should be enough. Master, an unconfirmed channel chat has been detected. Would you like to check it? Yes. When I touched yes, the chat screen appeared. Channel 88.347. Sununo. Hello. Sununo. Newcomer, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Sununo, I was bored being alone here. It's great that you came. Sununo, are you there? Anything, Nim? I extended my hand. A virtual keyboard appeared on the screen. Anything. Yes, hello. Sununo is typing. It seems they are currently online. The fact that channel chat is possible means this person is a neighbor located in the same sector as Anything. Sununo, since there's almost no one here, it's so lonely. I hope Anything Nim won't log out. I wanted to talk because I want a bit of help. Sununo, I do a lot of farming, so I have quite a few spare materials. Oh my, they got straight to the point. Sununo, I'd like to know your coordinates. I'll come by right away if you tell me. Check it on the menu on the right. Just let me know. Anything. Hold on a moment. I turned the chair's wheels. Izel had a serious expression. This guy. You can tell just by looking. I muttered, a hunter. In other words, a sucker hunter. Acting helpful, they ask for the coordinates and then strip the user clean. If there are many gray accounts nearby, it seems he has already taken what he could. Even though the tone seemed friendly, it's clearly an act. Ignore such guys. It's not worth responding to. Izel exhaled and turned her head. Loki.
I checked the sector's map again. The ratio of logged out users is quite high. There are non-gray accounts, but the colors are fading. Masters who log in irregularly. There's a term for places like this that aren't in a good situation, a bad sector. Of course, there are genuinely kind masters who want to help others. If assigned to sectors with many such people, you can grow under full support. Though it doesn't seem like here. Sinuno. Hey there. Reply. Anything. Hold on. Why bother responding? Can you tell me? Wait, I'm thinking. I revisited the rules for PvP. If you know the dimensional coordinates, invasion through airships becomes possible. However, that doesn't mean you're unconditionally protected if you don't reveal them. Eventually, they'll be uncovered. I took a file from the drawer. It contained information on PvP users, hunters, and their methods. Hunting on the 30th floor, a rare category. Getting airships on the 30th floor is not easy. If it happens, it's due to one of three things: exceptionally good luck, heavy spending, or having a reliable high-level backer. Either way, it's annoying. Sinuno. It's awkward if you keep ignoring me. Sinuno. I really want to meet you. Even if you don't tell me, I'll find you soon. This bastard. Bold. Anything. I'm sorry. I heard the warning about being cautious. Sinuno. You worry a lot, haha. Anything. It's cool to have an airship. I want one too. What should I do? Sinuno. Planning is a bit tricky, right? I have a few blueprints. Should I send them? Loki, seriously, when this chat ends, delete the logs. Wait, isn't it better to decide when the master is present? The master is not here. It's better that way. I looked at the index finger of my left hand. They will come here anyway. It's better now than getting backstabbed later. I pressed enter. Anything. I looked at the coordinates, but I don't really know what's what. Sinuno. Just tell me the last 6 digits. Anything. It says 447935. Sinuno. So anything's coordinates are 188.347.447.935. You said you want blueprints. I'll send 3 small ones. Basic materials too. Anything. Thank you. Sinuno. See you later. Master Sinuno has ended the chat. I clicked the X at the top. The channel chat window closed. Izel was looking at me with wide eyes. What will we do? It's okay. There are cases where masters get attacked when they're absent. At that time, the hero automatically defends. There shouldn't be any suspicion. It reminds me of the old days. I chuckled. In Pick Me Up, many masters who diligently carried out missions often ended up frustrated. They usually fell into two categories. The first group gave up climbing altogether and enjoyed SimCity. The second group became professional hunters specializing in PvP. Once they start, they can't forget that thrill. There was only one way to deal with it. I got up from the chair. The current time is 11:43 p.m. I have about an hour. Isel, I'll leave it to you. But don't worry. Clank. I hooked the sheath onto my belt. I've never lost in one-on-one. I opened the door and left. The reception room of the first party's dormitory was empty. After turning on the lantern, I raised the bell placed on the table and shook it. It was a bell made for emergency calls. What's this? Why all of a sudden? As the corridor door opened, Jenna walked out. Next to her, Nerissa and Aloka also appeared. All three had puzzled expressions. They're coming. Get ready. What nonsense are you talking about? Did you eat something weird? An invasion. Nerissa's eyes narrowed. It's good that you're quick-witted. Do you understand what to do now? I will call the leaders of all parties. Jenna, tell the auxiliary members, stay in the dormitory and don't come out under any circumstances. Oh, got it. Nerissa quickly left the reception room. Jenna also hurried after her. Iloka looked at me confused. What on earth is happening? I told you once before, people from other waiting rooms might come. Is that happening right now? Exactly. Iloka let out a deep sigh. Really? There's no time to rest? It's always been like this. If we lose, we won't lose. I raised my head. The sky was getting darker. I looked up. You want airships, right? Airships are high-level items that require a lot of time, skill, and funds, but there's a very simple way to obtain them. I'll get you one. A very, very simple way. I smiled and left the reception room.
Chapter 124. After a while, the leaders of each party gathered in the lobby. Layman, who had been licking his lips, spoke first. Is it true that people from another waiting room are coming? I've confirmed it. Unbelievable! Edis spoke up. Hen, you called us for a reason. You have an idea, right? The task is already set. We'll just turn the tables on them. Is it a war? Kashasha chuckled. I shook my head. Leave this matter to Party 1. You all stay prepared, and if anything happens, help when I signal. Is 5 of us enough? We'll see. There's no need to go all out from the beginning. If their goal is to loot, then we'll act accordingly. The meeting ended quickly. There was nothing special. The support heroes headed to their lodgings. Except for Party 1, the combatant heroes waited at the equipment manufacturing facility until I gave the signal. I stepped out into the square. Through the glass floor, I could see the lower level. The members of the equipment manufacturing facility were rushing into their lodgings. It was boring, but everything was going smoothly. Velkist touched his sword sheath. His rugged face already showed signs of excitement. Don't use it recklessly. When else should I use it? Don't kill. There are so many other things to do. Killing is the last resort. The hero protection system is in place until the 40th floor. Even if a hero dies during PvP, they'll only suffer a penalty and won't disappear. Anyway, I looked to the side. Members of Party 1, including Velkist, were gathered. The instructions had already been given, and determination filled their eyes. Don't be too nervous. It's not much different from a mission. We've done all sorts of things, and this is nothing new. Don't worry, let's get started. Jenna saluted vigorously and went down the stairs. Iloka grumbled and followed, with Nerissa and Velkist behind. Everyone except for me headed downstairs. There's no need to go all at once. If even one person dies, it can lead to significant losses. The penalty for death is a permanent decrease in all stats and skills, a risk equivalent to death that can turn a promising hero into trash in an instant. I'm enough alone. I also had insurance for emergencies. The rest is just waiting. I put on leather gloves and slowly descended the stairs. The destination was the dimensional rift on the second floor, where the others would enter. There were dark corners everywhere in the dimensional rift. I hid in one of the shadows and lowered my body. 5 minutes later, danger.
Master, an unauthorized airship has entered the waiting room. The airship Capitalism Ho is anchoring. Oh. The dimensional vortex shone blue, and the front of the airship appeared. You have no alarm system. The Master's hero does not detect the intrusion. If attacked by surprise, it could result in significant damage. Be cautious. It's not that big. Even so, it was the size of a medium-sized merchant ship, over 10 meters long. The airship emerged from the vortex with a flag on the mast, a skull with an eye patch drawn on a red flag. Is no one here? How bad. Did another sucker get caught this time? This is so fun. Laughter erupted from the airship. Clang, creak. Wooden stairs began to descend. I put my hand on the sheath and lowered my posture, even more. 4 men came down the stairs, wearing red leather armor and carrying various weapons, including swords, on their backs. It's not welcoming here. How boring. Based on my experience, the warehouse should be on the first floor. A short guy opened the door at the bottom of the airship. A large cart appeared. Bring me a big box, full of gold coins. Sure thing. The guy took out the cart, revealing his only 3 front teeth. You know what to do with eyewitnesses? Yes, bring them back half dead, right? That's right. We need to synthesize it. If those guys attack us, we'll escape quickly and come back. As expected, they weren't considering a full-on confrontation. What they wanted was to loot the warehouse. 4 out of 5 of them pulled the cart and left. Their plan was to go down to the first-floor warehouse, load it up with gold and valuable materials, and then return. If they happened to run into anyone, they would immediately try to silence them, either incapacitate them or kidnap them after partially injuring them. And if things started to look bad, the 5th guy would intervene. Hit and run. It was a deadly tactic. Without an alarm system to alert the heroes to the enemy's intrusion, the Master would find his waiting room half destroyed. Ugh. The guy yawned while leaning against the airship, acting carefree. I stayed hidden and slowly approached the airship. I'm so tired. Huh? The guy's eyes caught me. Shit, when did... I grabbed the guy by the hair, pulled him toward me, and slammed my knee into his face. With the sound of teeth breaking, blood splattered. Then I slammed his face against the wall of the airship. Thud, thud, thud. Whack! After breaking his arm, I tossed him to the ground. Spraying blood, his body slid across the floor. Oh! The airship started to move. I grabbed the end of the folding stairs and climbed up, then made a big leap. I landed on the deck and immediately rushed to the control room. Bam! When I kicked the door, I saw a man operating the device. What the hell are you so busy with? You crazy? The guy pulled out a dagger and swung it. Swoosh! I easily dodged and grabbed his wrist and twisted it in the opposite direction. Crack! Ah! Holding onto his limp wrist, he sank to his knees. I kicked his face hard like a soccer ball. Blood splattered on the glass window. Are there only 7 people who came here? I don't know. There's no way he didn't know. I firmly held on to his broken wrist. Tell me, before I finish you off. They're all here, all 7 of them. There are no magicians. I licked my lips. A dazzling hologram appeared on the device panel in front of me. It seemed to be in automatic mode, moving with simple manipulation. I looked down at the man who was crying while sitting on the floor. When are you leaving? Well, originally in 10 minutes, but since I touched it, it will take 5 minutes. Thud. I struck the back of his head with the knife sheath. The man collapsed, bleeding. Is it on automatic mode? Things got troublesome. Right now, the airship was stopped, but after a certain amount of time, it would automatically start moving again and return to its original location. Han, what happened? I've taken care of it. There should be no need for your help. Just wait for 10 minutes, and then go back and get some sleep. Don't wait for us." "What do you mean, don't wait for us?" I cut off communication. I pressed various buttons on the device panel. Beep! Operation is prohibited. Beep! Operation is prohibited. Beep! Operation is prohibited. It was useless. The only things that seemed to work were immediate departure and descending the stairs. "Master, the enemy is attempting to loot."
1 low-grade Heart of the Dragon is drawn. 3 C-grade Black Dragon scales are drawn. 2 low-grade magic parts are drawn. 1 C-grade Black Dragon's bone is drawn. 300,000 gold is drawn. They were picking out the expensive stuff. A little while later, creak, creak. In the distance, the sound of wagon wheels could be heard. I hid behind a pillar on the deck. When I peered through the railing, the guys were returning, pulling a cart full of boxes. Another fruitful day. At this rate, we can get some booze and women. Not a single mouse in sight. There's no sucker like this sucker. They walked up, faces flushed with excitement. "Hey bro, huh? Where did he go? He's probably gone in and fallen asleep already, right? We asked him to watch it." The stairs had already been descended. The guys put the cart in the lower storage area and came up to the deck. As if waiting, the airship started moving. "Today's departure is a bit early, isn't it?" One of them expressed doubt, but what's there to know? It's good to go quickly. It was naturally dismissed. I took a deep breath. The airship started heading toward the whirlpool of dimensions. Danger. The airship capitalism Ho has departed with the master's items. The system message blinked red, but anything had already left the game. After reconnecting, he would be able to see the log. Flash. A strong pressure enveloped my entire body, and the background changed instantly. A gray sky and desolate land. The exterior of the tower. The airship spread its wings and swiftly soared into the sky. About 10 minutes passed like that. Dimensional leap initiated. The mechanical voice echoed. The scenery changed again. Below, countless typhoons raged. Dimension 3847, Harlara. A few hundred meters ahead, the whirlpool of dimensions spun. It was the airship's destination. I stuck my head out from behind the pillar and checked the deck. One person was leaning against the railing. The other 4 were not visible inside. This should be enough. I stood up and moved forward. The man leaning against the railing muttered, "In the past, the master wasn't like this. The world has changed. Isn't that so, huh?" Thud. I kicked the man's back. "Wait, just a moment." Ugh! The man's overturned body continued to fall endlessly. I turned and walked to the door inside. I opened it. Ugh! A guy covered in blood rushed out, blood leaking from his mouth. "You're so weak. How can you be so weak? Did we really have to hide in the chest? I thought I was going to die of suffocation." "What's the situation?" "This guy is the last one." Velkist pointed his sword at the man. "Wait! Spare me! Spare me, please! If you kill me, there will be retaliation! I don't want to die!" Thwack! The sword pierced the man's shoulder and stuck in the deck. Ah! The man's eyes rolled back, and he trembled violently. Velkist spat. "You filthy bug." "This side is also cleared." Jenna came out onto the deck, her dagger soaked in blood. "They were worse than I thought. They said they had done this countless times. Even though we were on high alert because they invaded, this is disappointing." Iloka and Nerissa as well. All members of Party 1 gathered on the deck. "Appa, are we doing the same to them? There are only 5 of us. Is it okay?" It deviated slightly from the original plan. The original plan was to suppress the airship from the inside and then counterattack with an elite team. but because it was on automatic mode, there was no room to carry members from another party. There must be at least dozens of people in the enemy territory. After interrogating them, they said they could make it return to the waiting room if they adjusted the airship properly. After going back and reorganizing, no, it won't work. There's no point in a surprise attack. I shook my head. If we're late coming back, they'll notice us too. Then, we go like this and finish it in one go. A slight blow won't stop a hunter. Instead, it will only provoke them. It doesn't matter if they are strong or weak. If that guy sticks to you, he will even interfere with the mission. There's only one way. But there are only 5 of us. It's enough, Velkist interrupted, and kicked the man at his feet. These kinds of bugs can be finished off in batches. They are indeed weak. I looked at the man. The reason he was weak compared to his level was simple. He didn't train properly. If he had given up on climbing the tower, there was no need to become as strong as we did. The decision was clear. I reached for my pouch. We've come this far. Are we going back empty-handed? That's the obvious answer. There's no turning back now. Plunder everything and set it all on fire. Dry up their resources. There is one rule I learned about hunters while running Niflheimer. Chase them to the end, until they fold. The dimensional rift was swallowing the airship.
Chapter 125. As I moved toward the waiting room, I explained the plan to the team. In a surprise attack, time is everything. If we hesitate, the enemy will surround us. With our numbers, we'll be wiped out. Iloka, you're crucial here. Got it. I'll show you my... I cut her off. Move swiftly. Make sure no one is left behind. We'll be okay, right? Someone asked. Of course. I drew my sword. A bright light enveloped me. The signal for dimensional teleportation. Permission to view system logs has been revoked. Within the radiant light, Bifrost glowed black. When I opened my eyes, the sword had returned to its original state. Access to the log, I see. It means you can access the system from other waiting rooms too. Airship capitalist ship has returned. Danger. Master, heroes from another faction have invaded. They slipped through the dimensional rift. I looked up. The sky was shining brightly. I see you're watching. It's a good situation. I chuckled. This time it's quite fast. Did you catch anything useful? 2 men approached the airship entrance. Click, creak. The stairs descended. It's a rare case. At this rate, even the master... I descended the stairs. Who are you? Ping, ping. 2 arrows flew from the gap in the railing. Erk, erg. I swung my sword as I descended. The 2 men fell, bleeding. Death protection applied. Kaz, 2 stars. Soul will be lost. Barreled, 3 stars. Soul will be lost. Tips regarding death protection. Heroes who die in a protected state will permanently suffer stat and skill decreases. Lost souls can be resurrected as soul stones after 1 week. Tips, PvP. When a PvP situation occurs, the healing effect in the waiting room does not apply. I kicked the bodies. They turned into light and disappeared. There are only 2 here. I looked around. I couldn't see the others in the dimensional rift. It's better if they're scattered. I decided to clean them up one by one. Master, it's an emergency. Activate the security system. Yes. Whirring. A loud siren blared, and the sky turned red. It seems we've been discovered. Now it begins. I quickly headed for the exit. Turning right in the corridor, a large square appeared. Damn, what's this? These bastards must be the intruders. This guy just crawled in without knowing his place. Let's chop him into pieces. 2nd floor square. 16 men drew their weapons. Nerissa. Yes. Nerissa threw the round container she was holding. Drip, drip. A viscous liquid spilled out. If you're drunk, you need some fun. Do you like fireworks? What? What? Iloka ignited the fire with a puff of breath. I caught the burning firewood. The liquid was the airship's fuel, oil. I'd brought a few barrels from the ship's warehouse. I chuckled and watched the fireworks. Whoosh! The flames spread rapidly. Danger! A fire has broken out in the 2nd floor square. This is crazy! Explode! Boom, boom, crash! Albert, 3 stars. Soul will be lost. Dyron, 2 stars. Soul will be lost. Giedrick, 2 stars. Successive death messages. I ran forward and shouted, "Kill them all!" Swish! Jenna's arrow shot out like lightning, striking the head of a burning man rolling on the ground. Velkest drew his sword, and 2 men's heads flew. Nerissa, Iloka, follow me. Got it. Whoosh! As the flames spread, noxious smoke filled the air. I ran forward, flames clinging to my body. The target was the dormitory entrance. Beyond the closed door, I heard footsteps and shouts. We need to act before they regain focus. I'm going to finish this. Bang! I kicked the door open. The heroes inside turned to us at once. Nerissa rolled the second fuel barrel. Strike! Explode! Boom! Danger! Fire has broken out in the 2nd floor dormitory. The facility is severely damaged. Be cautious. Ah! Ah! It's fire! It's fire! Through the flames and smoke, agonized screams echoed. Iloka smiled bitterly. We seem like villains. It's one of the two. Either we do it or it's done to us. The dormitory erupted in chaos. This couldn't be called a battle. Messages of panic, despair, and fear kept popping up. If they had fought back, we would have had to prepare for sacrifices too, but we won't give them the chance. When the opponent is careless, asleep, or hasn't gathered yet, we seize the advantage. I kicked the dormitory entrance again. A transparent barrier blocked the way. Even intruders couldn't enter the dormitory. It was the only facility that protected the hero's safety. Doesn't matter. There's a lot to do. Without hesitation, I turned away. The 13 enemies in the square had all become corpses, scattered around. Flames rose fiercely all over the square. To the 1st floor. I descended the stairs. 10 heroes were waiting. The black-haired woman at the front drew her sword. You bastards! You won't take a single step from here! Similar, 4 stars, is gathering reinforcements. They're quick to respond. I thought they hadn't gathered yet. I turned and stepped on the stairs leading to the 2nd floor. You bastards! Are you running away? What? What? We're going to set it on fire now. You lunatic! I quickly climbed the stairs. No need to fight. As long as they keep chasing us, that's enough. With the torch in my left hand, I walked to the right side of the square. I opened the door. Inside were shelves. A warehouse. Ah! A young girl rushed at me with a frying pan. As I brushed past her, she fell. Is she the warehouse manager? Unfortunately, there's no room for mercy. Roll it. Got it. Nerissa rolled the canister. I dropped the torch. Whoosh! Danger! A fire has broken out in the 2nd floor warehouse. There's concern for material damage. Extinguish the fire immediately. Intense flames erupted inside. If the goal was looting, sabotaging would be foolish. But my goal isn't that. I left the warehouse. The square was already engulfed in flames. Smoke and fire filled the air. The fool hasn't customized the facilities. The warehouse was in its default location, just like the dormitory. Nerissa, Iloka, go to the equipment workshop. Burn it all. Yes. It feels like we've become complete villains. It's one of the two. Either we do it or it's done to us. The 2 left the square. Dormitory level decreased. Level 5 to level 3. Danger. Materials in the 2nd floor warehouse were damaged. Relevant items, 32 types in total. A-grade leather, C-grade diamond, lesser soul stone. Wait, what is this nonsense? You bastard! They've arrived. I'll kill you! Come out! We'll see who's going to die. Velkest chuckled, his left cheek stained with ash and blood. The 2nd floor square had turned into a hell of flames. We could withstand it, having steadily acquired flame resistance, but it would be different for them. In this situation, I turned around. I can't afford to be left behind. I swung my sword. Kill them all! It didn't take even 5 minutes. The resistance from the 4-star swordswoman was strong, but it was just a matter of time. She couldn't withstand the combined attacks of Jenna and Velkest and fell. Similar, 4 stars, soul has been lost. Crixel, 2 stars, soul has been lost.
Lloyd, 3 stars, soul. Danger. A fire has broken out in the equipment workshop. I went down to the 1st floor.
Some resisted passively, but the main force had already been wiped out. There's no fight left. Oppa, isn't this enough? It's almost halfway destroyed, Jenna said, wiping her cheek. Blood and ash stained her fingers. There are some bad guys, but there are also innocent people. But it's not over yet. But don't worry, we won't kill any more. We'll just destroy the basic facilities. There are 4 core facilities necessary for every waiting room: the dormitory, warehouse, workshop, and training ground. We'll burn them all down to make sure they can't be restored. I opened the first-floor warehouse door, poured oil in, and set it on fire. A fire has broken out in the first-floor warehouse. Messages about fires and damage kept popping up. We split into 2 teams, setting fire to buildings and destroying facilities. The defense forces disappeared. They may have had more numbers, but in chaos, they were just scarecrows. Master, 74 unread channel chats have been detected. Do you want to check? Yes? No. A log appeared on the left side of my vision. It seemed Azel's master authority hadn't disappeared. Go away. No. The notification window closed. I started calculating the damage. Main force casualties, loss of items and equipment, storage and warehouse completely burned, dormitory partially destroyed, equipment workshop inoperable. This won't do. There's one left. I asked the others to handle the aftermath and went up to the second-floor plaza. The fire had been extinguished, but almost everything, benches, fountains, had turned to ash. I opened the door opposite the dimensional rift. It was the training ground. Eek! In the corner, several people huddled together, trembling, faces full of fear, some crying. I approached slowly. Stay where you are. A young man stood up. We will resist with our lives and we will... I have a question. If you answer, I'll spare your lives. Okay, ask anything. Where's the mage? He's over there. The young man pointed to the left door. Thank you. I approached the door. It didn't seem like he'd escaped. It was the door to the magic hall. Just as I was about to grab the doorknob, I absolutely refused to allow that. Flash! Something appeared in front of me. 2 pairs of transparent wings, petite features, and a small body. It was Azel. The only difference was her red leather outfit, pirate hat, and eye patch. Move aside. No, I won't, even if I die. I grabbed the fairy's wings and tossed her aside. If you take that guy away, how will I survive? My dream of becoming the king of pirates... Huh. The fairy sat on the ground and burst into tears. I stopped walking. She glanced at me, then muttered, "Half a year of suffering under a lousy master? I barely made it here, but now this is how it ends. Don't you think I'm pitiful?" I opened the door. Inside the magic hall, there was a faint smell of chemicals. On a messy desk, a young boy in a white robe slept soundly. Sleeping through all this chaos. A mage, an essential talent for airship operations. I approached from behind and tapped his shoulder. Who woke me up from my nap? I've been working 3 days and nights due to overtime. I covered the boy's mouth and pulled out a rope. In an instant, I tied his arms, legs, and torso and gagged his mouth. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video. Have a suggestion? Let me know in the comments.